Welcome to Time of Death. This video is for informational purposes and in no way meant to glorify or condone violence. In today's video, we'll be discussing the murder of Cedric Horn. Horn was shot and killed on Friday, October 30th, 2015 in the 900 block of West 68th Street in the Vermont-Slauson neighborhood of South LA, according to LA County coroner records. Rashawn Bedford and Andrew Campbell were subsequently arrested and charged with the murder. The following is the evidence at trial. In the late afternoon of October 30th, 2015, victim Cedric Horn was working as a landscaper on West 68th Street. This location was in territory claimed by the 6'5" Menlo Crips. At some point after he finished his work, the victim was standing near the corner of Vermont Avenue and 68th Street when he was shot 7 times with a 9mm handgun. 2 of the shots proved fatal. A gang expert testified at trial regarding an alliance between 2 gangs, the 6'7" neighborhood Crips and the 6'5" Menlo Crips, and their feud with a 3rd gang, the Avalon Gangster Crips. Defendant admitted to police several times that he was a member of the Avalons. He was aware of several gang-related killings in the month prior to the victim's shooting. In one incident, the Menlos held a funeral in the Avalon's territory and a shootout broke out between the gangs, resulting in the death of a Menlo gang member. Shortly after that incident, 2 Avalon gang members were killed, including Rashard Randall. The prosecution's theory at trial was that the defendant planned the shooting as retaliation for the earlier Avalon shootings, scouted the location, and as a senior gang member, accompanied the younger shooter Andrew Campbell to validate the killing. 1 month after the victim's murder, the LAPD stopped defendant's Chevy Avalanche truck. Defendant was with 2 admitted Avalon gang members at the time. Police searched the truck and found a kit for cleaning the barrel of a 9mm gun. After defendant was arrested, he eventually admitted he was driving his Avalanche truck when it was used in the shooting, but asserted he had no idea the shooter, whom he identified as Andrew Campbell, was going to shoot the victim. Defendant told police that he, Campbell, and 2 friends were headed to a marijuana dispensary on Florence Avenue, slightly west of Vermont. He said he was taking side streets to avoid the traffic on Florence when Campbell suddenly told him to stop the truck. Defendant did so. Campbell exited, shot the victim, and got back into the truck. Defendant then sped off. Defendant claimed he didn't know Campbell was carrying a gun. Surveillance camera video from the streets surrounding the crime scene established that defendant's black Avalanche traveled south on Menlo Avenue and turned right on 68th Street toward Vermont. It then turned right on Vermont and parked just north of 68th Street. Defendant exited the driver's seat and walked toward the rear of the vehicle. A police witness testified that from this location, defendant would have a clear and direct view of where the victim was shot. A minute later, defendant re-entered the Avalanche. The vehicle proceeded north on Vermont, then drove around the block. As it traveled south on Menlo for a second time, it stopped and someone got out of the rear passenger door. The person walked toward the cargo bays in the back of the truck and then got back into the truck. The prosecution argued at trial that this individual was Andrew Campbell, who retrieved the gun from the truck's cargo bay in preparation for the shooting. The truck again made a right turn onto 68th Street. After the shooting, the truck turned right onto Vermont Avenue from 68th and then right again on 66th, driving at a high speed. On August 10th, 2017, defendant Bedford was charged with murder, including gun and gang allegations. Following the trial, on November 14, 2018, the jury found defendant guilty of 2nd-degree murder and found true the gun and gang enhancements. The court sentenced defendant to 15 years to life for the murder conviction, doubled to 30 years under the 3 strikes law, and another 30 years for the enhancements, for a total term of 60 years to life. Cedric Horn was 24 years old at the time of death.